That is like irritatingly good. I started this video out so nonchalant, but as it's gone on, you can tell my excitement has built. But the fact that this guitar is the equivalent of what those were, and it's this good out of the box, and start learning today, right now. My power just went out. It's not fair. It's just simply not fair.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
That beginners have it this well nowadays. So what I'm going to show you is, this is a sponsored video, just throwing that off the bat. A brand called Strich reached out to me. You may or may not have heard of them. They are on Amazon, and they have a guitar kit, right, that you can get for $159. So, you know, it's guitar, amp, all that kind of stuff. And I love checking these things out because I love to see how well the beginners really have it. And thus far, first impressions of just what I've got here on my table in front of me, I'm already very impressed. So as always, links are in the description if you want to check one of these kits out for yourself. And as always, even with sponsored content, I do retain the right to be as open and honest as I can with you guys. If I don't like something, I will say that I don't like it, and vice versa. If I really like it, I'll tell you that I really like it and mean it. In this case, thus far, again, I really like what I'm seeing and feeling. And I've talked about it quite a bit, and you've not seen it yet, and I apologize for that. But thank you for sticking around to see this guitar right here. So this is the Strich, S-T-R-I-C-H, SST S10. It's a Strat copy. It's a Strat copy. Basically down to the letter. It's got 3 single coils, S shape there, blocky heel, bolt-on maple neck, 1 volume, 2-tone, 5-way switch, 6-point vintage style tremolo here, with a small block in the back. Someone's going to ask about that. It's a smaller block, but at this price point, $159, with all the other things that you get with it, you kind of expect them to put a block like that in there. But if the bones are good, if it plays well, things like that can be upgraded, which we'll talk about that in a second. And then obviously the star of the show here is this absolutely stunning, and I do mean stunning for the price point, blue sparkle finish. I mean, it looks really, really good. I'm very impressed with it. It's still got some styrofoam on it. This did come in a huge box, which was a smaller box inside, and then it came in a giant styrofoam shell. So it did arrive nice and safe and sound. Coming up to the neck and stuff here, this is just, again, quick first impressions of it, because I've not even plugged this thing in yet. The frets, no fret sprout. 0 fret sprout at all, which is very impressive. Even up here beyond the 12th, where you would expect that to be, none. Super duper impressed with that. Now, as time goes on and it adjusts to the beautiful Georgia climate that we got here, I'm sure that we'll start to see some fret sprout, but for it to not have arrived with it, 2 thumbs up in that case. The frets themselves are not scratchy. They are actually very, I'm not going to say super duper shiny. They could probably use a quick hit with the steel wool, just a little bit of a polish, but I mean, tuning it up and playing it, I'm not playing with a pick and I can't really do fingerstyle, but either way, unless I'm at your mom's house, I can do fingerstyle, trust me. The frets are not really scratchy or dull or anything, but when I change the strings on it, I'll probably polish them up a little bit. The fretboard looks like it's like presswood or some kind of composite material. It looks very, very dry, which hit it with some lemon oil, it'll darken right up. That's fine. If it's not causing the frets to sprout, I'm not really saying it's any kind of concern. Maple neck, the neck profile is kind of strange. Not uncomfortable by any means, but it is kind of strange. It's not thick, it's not thin. It's a very comfortable in the middle kind of thing here, but it feels blocky, if that makes sense. Like it's got some hard shoulders on it. And again, tell me in the comments what letter of neck shape that is, because I don't know. B, D, there's not a B shape, but C neck, D neck, V neck, U neck, I don't know. I don't know all that. I'll just say what it feels like. And that's kind of what it feels like. But it's not uncomfortable by any means. So it's kind of cool. Nice and smooth and satiny finished and all that kind of stuff. Plastic nut, obviously. The tuners are just sealed tuners, and they look like they are in pretty good shape. I will note this. I'm just realizing this. There's a screw missing on the D-string tuner. So the screw that holds that in place, there is not one. So there's a negative there. But I've not noticed any kind of tuning stability issues with that because I have just tuned this up. That's all I've done. I'm not plugged it in yet. It's a little out of tune now because I had it laying on the table, but it stayed rather in tune once I got the string stretched and everything. So that's good. The neck on it out of the box is almost dead straight. It's got the little tiny curve in it like it's supposed to have right in here. So the neck is good and playable right out of the box in my experience. Your mileage may vary on these. But again, just kind of picking it up and playing it, cool beans. And so there's that. But what else do you get for your $159? Because I know I said it's a kit. So what else do you get? Well, you get something like this really nice branded Strich geek bag. It's really cool. It comes folded up kind of like so in the thing, and then you unfold it, and boom, you got a full gig bag. But it's really nice. It feels like it's got a little bit of padding to it, so it's not just like a dust cover bag. So if you go and take this to your local open mic night or wherever you're taking it, should be safe. You get a little plastic baggie here of a trim arm and the obligatory adjustment tool, so a small Allen key and a large Allen key there. You do get this little drawstring bag here full of goodies, which I've already taken out because I tried to shoot this once and then I got a phone call and it messed up my audio recording. So naturally I got to start the whole video over. But I digress. What do you get in the little drawstring bag there? You get a cleaning cloth. You get a rather nice looking strap there. You get some strings. You get a capo, which is kind of cool for all the Midwestern emo guys out there. Clip-on tuner, which is always nice to have. And then you get a really nice guitar cable. This is more akin to like the Donner cables that I really, really like that you get. So really nice touch there, not including the uber-duper cheap guitar cable. Then, to get you some noise going, since it's a starter kit, you do get a nice little 10-watt like desktop amplifier, which we're gonna start out with the sounds when we get into actually playing this thing using this amp, and then we'll put it through, you know, proper amp. I say proper amp, like a big amp is what I mean. Not saying that this isn't bad. I've not even plugged this in yet. I've not opened the box yet, but 10 watts, Bluetooth, headphone port there, rechargeable via USB-C. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of get this thing like properly tuned, all that kind of stuff, and we'll put it through this little amp and put it through its paces and see if this is actually a proper guitar starter kit for anybody looking to get started playing the guitar. Hi there. All right, so here's what we got. I've got the little amp here. I've already unboxed it and everything. You get an owner's manual. You get a USB-C cable in there to charge it. It is battery powered. It's very similar to an amp that we've already featured on this channel before, which is fine. I guess all of these are just like the, what do you call them, OEM manufacturers, where they all kind of make the same thing and just rebrand it. But really quickly, Bluetooth button here to engage the Bluetooth. You have a volume here that controls the aux and the Bluetooth volume. So if you're using like an aux cable and plugging in your phone or your iPod, if you still got one of those, you can control the volume there. A gain knob, which we'll put back in the middle. Tone, which we'll keep in the middle too. The volume knob, which also acts as the power. So if you turn it, you'll hear it click and it'll come on. A button here to switch between your clean and drive channel. You plug it in there. You charge it on the back, and it's also got a headphone jack on it. I'm even using the Strich cable. There's the wrapper right there. That goes with this, so we can just see what it all sounds like out of the bag. You may have noticed too that they look like they had picks on the listing. I've not found picks yet. Now, granted, I've not opened everything that's in there yet, so they could be in the midst of something else, but I've not found the picks yet. And generally speaking, they're in like the clear bag with the tremolo arm and everything, but I digress. I've got my own picks anyway. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. We're gonna go ahead and just max out the volume here, or on the clean channel. Bridge pickup. See what it sounds like. Should be in tune. It's not very loud. That's the volume all the way up. Which, by the way, you're just hearing this through my shotgun mic, just to get a room. There's no sense in miking this thing up. Up the gain, all the way. There we go. Which, it doesn't sound bad. So far, that's a pretty decent clean channel. So let's go to the second position here, or the bridge and the neck, or the bridge in the middle pickup. This is what I was talking about at the top of the video where I said it's not fair, because that sounds freaking great. What? This is the middle position, by the way. I know half of my face is getting cut off, but that is fantastic. Like, obviously, it's not the greatest sound in the world. I'm not saying it's the greatest before anybody jumps on me, but that is really good thus far for $159. So, fourth position, or the neck and middle. What? What? That is insane. That's a strattier sound than my actual Strat. What? Holy, okay. Neck. The neck's got to be juicy. Bro. That is a great sound. That, no word of a lie, no exaggeration. That is a great sound. This fourth position, I'm really impressed with. That is just so quacky, and like, that's a Strat. That's insane. Up the tone all the way. Can we get even like chimier? Back to the bridge. Oh yeah. And go back to that fourth position there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Put the tone back in the middle there. Let's go to the drive channel. Gain is still all the way up because I'm assuming that it's not really a gain knob as much as it is a volume knob. Back to the bridge. It's kind of what I expected. There's not like a whole lot of gain in there, but I mean, it's got a little bit of a dirty, rocky kind of... Remember that this amp is only that big. So it sounds pretty... I've heard amps that are about this size that sound way worse. Some of them even bigger that sound worse. Let's run through the pickup positions again on dirty. So second position, again, bridge and middle. Again, it's not bad. It's not bad. Beginners, really, honestly. That's the middle. Wow. Fourth position again. My new favorite position on this guitar. Yeah. Wow. Again, I'm just playing it through the tiny. I can't wait to plug this thing to a big amp. Wow. And then the neck. Just playing some cowboy chords too, kind of. Wow. Let's turn that off. Very impressed with how the little amp sounds. I mean, again, it's not like the dirtiest thing in the world, but Star of the show is still this thing. Let's plug this into a bigger amp and mic it up proper and do all that kind of stuff. And let's see if those Stratty tones hold in the Strich SST S10. I really hope that they do. So spoiler alert, it does the Strat thing through a big amp too. Wow. That was the neck pickup. I'm miking up my NuX Mighty 60 with an SM57, recording into Reaper. Wow. This thing does the thing, man. It really does. And it's a really nice playing guitar. Like, I don't know how I can get across that. I'm controlling the amp on my phone as well with the Mighty Amp app. So I'm going to switch. I'm using a Vox AC30 kind of tone here for what you're hearing. Just, I figured that would be the best kind of thing. Keeping with that, you can hear a little bit of noise going on there maybe. So that is the single coil. If you put in the second or fourth position, they are somewhat noise canceling. Just a little bit of a buzz going on there, but not as bad as the 60 cycle hum that you hear. So let's go to the bridge. I've got a different setting, still an AC30 kind of modeled thing. I think there's a little bit of drive and a little bit more reverb on this. So let's see what that sounds like. Again, on the bridge pickup. I dig it. It's cool. Second position there. So you hear that the little phasey kind of thing goes away. That bell-like, quacky kind of. Wow. Middle position, middle pickup, that is. Fourth position, as we heard earlier, one of my favorites. Ow! That is a great fourth position. Some people call it second, some people call it fourth, but it's the neck and the middle. That is the best tone that this guitar offers by far. Not that the other ones are bad, but by far my favorite one. That is like irritatingly good because of how affordable the guitar and this whole freaking kit is. And then finally the neck. We've heard a lot of the neck, but just can't handle enough of it, right? And it's intonated. I've not set this thing up a lick at all. I've tuned it. The neck is great. The frets are fantastic. It's intonated past the 12th fret on practically all of the strings, I think. Yeah. Wow. That is insanely good. I started this video out so nonchalant, but as it's gone on, you can tell my excitement has built more and more and more because of just how great this Strich guitar is. It really is so good. And it's like I said before, back when I first started playing, by no means were the guitars, the affordable guitars, all that bad. Because obviously you talk to somebody that started playing more like in the 80s, they'll tell you that they were bad. I started playing like the mid 2000s, late 2000s, kind of something around there. And those guitars were pretty decent. But even back then, if you would have bought a $150 guitar, which again, that's taking into account this is the whole kit. So really, this guitar is probably about 120 bucks. Let's call it about 120. If you would have bought a $120 guitar brand new back in like say 2008, probably wasn't going to be the greatest thing. You were looking at like Squire Bullet. We'll stop that recording. Like Squire Bullet, something like that. And we all know that those were hit or miss back at a certain point in time. But the fact that this guitar is the equivalent of what those were, and it's this good out of the box, that anybody could pick it up and play it without cutting up your hand. You could literally plug it in and play it with everything that you got provided. And start learning today, right now. My power just went out. My excitement has kicked on so much. Let's see if we can refocus that. I'm keeping this in. Yeah, so there you go. Out of focus, Jonathan. Telling you to check out there we go, I'll come back in. Spooky story time. As I was saying, that you could get a guitar of this quality for the price, that is bananas. So, yeah, I highly recommend you check out the link in the description. The power going out was just the icing on the cake for that. I'm glad I stopped that recording when I did, I guess. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video, sticking around with me. A lot of weird stuff happened in this video. But yeah, check out the Strich guitars in the link in the description. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's just not fair that you beginners have it this good. It really is not fair.